What if I told you that among all the powerful princes of the Ottoman Empire, there was one who fought no great battles, held no military command, and yet his pain changed the destiny of the greatest dynasty in the world? This is the story of Prince Cihangir, the youngest son of Suleiman the Magnificent, a fragile soul trapped inside a golden cage. A prince whose body was weak, but whose heart burned with poetry. A boy who loved deeply, hurt quietly, and died with secrets history still whispers about. Today, we'll step into his world as shown in the series Magnificent Century, enriched with real historical facts. A world of destiny, heartbreak, and the heavy crown that crushed a gentle spirit. Cihangir was unlike his brothers. No armies behind him, no ambitions for the throne, no prophecy speaking his name. Instead, he carried scoliosis, physical pain, and the emotional wounds of a palace built on rivalry. But he also carried something rare, a poet's soul. In this video, we dive into his life, from the palace halls of Magnificent Century to the real history behind the boy who didn't survive the war for the throne. In Magnificent Century, Cihangir is introduced as a sweet, gentle child, always slightly behind the others, always more fragile. While his brothers, Mustafa, Mehmet, Selim, Bayezid, trained in archery and horseback riding, Cihangir often sat by the window, holding books or writing. Historically, this was true. Cihangir was born in 1531 with a physical deformity, likely severe scoliosis. He lived in constant pain, and the court physicians could do little to help. But the world inside his mind, boundless. He grew up learning Persian, literature, and poetry. Even as a child, he wrote verses that reflected longing, sorrow, and quiet wisdom. In the series, his mother Hürrem holds him close, not just with love, but with fear. She knew that in the Ottoman Empire, princes didn't simply grow up, they survived. Growing up, Cihangir lived among four very different brothers. Mustafa, adored by the army, loved by the people. Mehmet, Hürrem's pride, the golden prince. Selim, indulgent, unpredictable. Bayezid, fiery, ambitious, rebellious. In Magnificent Century, Cihangir often serves as the emotional bridge. He's the one who tries to soothe conflicts, the one who senses pain others ignore. He admires Mehmet's kindness. He fears Mustafa's growing popularity because he watches Hürrem fear it. He is torn between Selim and Bayezid, who wage a quiet war for their mother's approval. He is the prince who sees everything, but has no power to change anything. This is where the heartbreak begins. No moment shaped Cihangir's destiny more than the death of Prince Mustafa. In Magnificent Century, the execution scene is one of the series' most iconic and devastating. Mustafa is strangled under Sultan Suleiman's order, following years of political manipulation, rumors, and fears of rebellion. Where was Cihangir, watching his world collapse? In the series, Cihangir is shown shaking, crying, unable to breathe from the emotional shock. Historically, Ottoman sources support this. Cihangir was deeply attached to Mustafa. Mustafa treated him gently, like a younger brother, never a rival. When the army rebelled after Mustafa's death, when they cried out for justice, Cihangir's already fragile heart cracked completely. Writers of the time claim that after the tragedy, Cihangir became withdrawn, depressed, and hopeless. He wrote poetry filled with grief, verses about betrayal, broken trust, and unbearable sorrow. His body was weak before, but now his spirit was shattered. the Ottoman palace became a battlefield of whispers and ambitions. Selim and Bayezid, Hürrem's remaining sons, began an open rivalry. Both wanted the throne. Both believed they deserved it. Cihangir was trapped in the middle. Magnificent Century portrays this beautifully. Cihangir pleading with them to stop fighting, telling them the empire doesn't need more blood, trying to make peace in a world that only understood power. He loved Bayezid's passion. He admired Selim's calm, but he feared that one day they would destroy each other. Historically, this prophecy came true. Their conflict led to a civil war years later. Cihangir sensed it even as a boy. His letters and poetry hint at his fear. Brothers who share a cradle must not become enemies on the battlefield. But destiny was already written. Cihangir lived a life surrounded by luxury, yet he was one of the loneliest figures in the palace. In the series, he watches others fall in love, form alliances, experience life fully. He watches the world move, while he remains still. Historically, Cihangir never married, unique for an Ottoman prince. His health was too fragile, and his emotional pain too deep. He found comfort only in writing. He wrote poetry about longing, incompleteness, and the weight of being born into a dynasty where love was forbidden and betrayal was inevitable. His most famous historical poem hints at unrequited love, read by many historians as the love he felt for Mihrima, his sister, though not romantic. Rather, the desperate love of someone who knows they will never experience true companionship. He called himself the lonely bird with a broken wing. When Suleiman embarked on the Nakhchivan campaign, surprisingly, he took Cihangir with him. Why take the weakest prince on a military expedition? Magnificent Century suggests one reason. Suleiman wanted to keep his family close after the empire shook with rebellion. Another interpretation, Cihangir himself insisted, because grief made the palace unbearable. Historical sources support this. Cihangir traveled, but could barely handle the harsh conditions. On the way back, he collapsed. Some chroniclers say he died from illness, others say from grief. The Ottoman historian Mustafa Ali wrote, "His heart was too delicate for the cruelty of this world." Cihangir died in 1553. He was only 22 years old. Suleiman, who had seen countless battles, who had lost sons before, was crushed. He ordered a mosque built in Cihangir's name, overlooking the Bosphorus, a quiet place for a gentle soul. Cihangir left no descendants, no military victories, no political legacy. He left only words, poetry filled with longing, letters filled with insight, a story filled with pain. Yet his death changed everything. It added another layer of grief to the already broken heart of Suleiman. It weakened Hürrem, who died shortly after, and it intensified the rivalry between Selim and Bayezid, leading to a war that shaped the future of the empire. In many ways, Cihangir was the price the Ottoman dynasty paid for its ambition. In Magnificent Century, Cihangir is remembered as the kindest of Suleiman's sons, the one who brought tenderness to an empire of iron and fire. History agrees. He lived in pain. He watched his family destroy itself. He carried sorrow no young man should carry. But through it all, he remained compassionate, gentle, and wise. He was a prince, but also a poet, a broken heart, but a beautiful soul. And that is how we should remember him. If this emotional journey into the life of Prince Cihangir moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Which prince's story should we explore next? Thank you for watching, And until next time, may history never forget the poet with a broken heart.